But before we begin with this, let me just share to you the things that you need to accomplish or to do at the end of this lesson. Here are the learning targets. Number one, I can identify the causes of migration in and out of the country. And number two, I can explain the effects of migration on social, political, and economic aspects. When I say I can, hindi yung ako, kundi kayo. I'm reading these statements for all of you. At the end of the lesson, these are the things that are expected from you. Okay? So I will be guiding you in this discussion, of course. So as I mentioned, migration will be our topic. And what I want you to do now is to get a piece of paper or open a document, a blank document, and do this table. What are your initial ideas on the topic of migration? So, sulat muna kayo doon sa before part of the before and after chart. So, dahil may before, mamaya, after the discussion, I will be asking you to pull this document back and susulatan nyo naman yung after chart. So, what are your initial ideas of the term migration? Migration is blank. It can be a word or a phrase. Wag muna kayong mag-Google dahil ang titingnan natin dito is your initial ideas, meaning ano lang yung meron kayo, stock knowledge. Okay? Sige. Okay, who would like to share their answers? What is your initial idea of the term migration? Anyone from the class? Go ahead, Miguel.
Transferring from another location.
Okay, tama. No, paglipat sa ibang lokasyon. Very good. How about the next guy? Gabriel, ikaw ba ito? Go.
Yes, sir. Sir, to settle permanently somewhere.
Ayan. Mag-settle sa ibang lugar. Okay, Simon.
Sir, migration is the transferring of people from one place or country to another because the past environment conditions are no longer suitable.
Ayan. Tama, no? Hindi na naaakma or suitable yung kanilang kondisyon kaya nag-decide silang umalis. So I would like you to remember all your answers in the before chart as we continue with our discussion. Now, let's now try to watch a news coming from BBC, okay? At tignan natin ang current situation ng isang bansa no sa panahon ng pandemya at sa issue ng migration. Let's watch this video. Again, take down notes, okay? Keywords that you will get from this particular video. Here we go.
2 महीने से बच्चों को क्या खिलाएंगे? यहाँ पे काम धंधा था, मजदूरी है, काम धंधा कर लेते, रोज बच्चों को खिला लेते। अब यहाँ पे 2 महीने से कौन दे रहा है हमारे लिए? कोई नहीं दे रहा है। घर में कह देते हैं सरकार दे रही है, वो दे रहा है, कोई नहीं दे रहा है बच्चों के लिए।
कहता घर जाने के लिए भी कहता 2500 रुपया टिकट। 2500 रुपया अब मियाँ बीवी में 5000 रुपया हम कहाँ से लाएंगे?
बिहार बलिया वाले इस तरफ जाते रहे, गोरखपुर वाले इधर जाते रहे, बाकी सब लोग इधर जाते रहे। कोई भी यहाँ बैठेगा नहीं, सब पीछे नहीं लगाएंगे। ये पीछे निकालो, पीछे को उठा, सबको कोई नहीं बैठेगा यहाँ। उठा सबको, उठा। यहाँ मर्जी बैठ जा रहे अपनी मर्जी से। सीधी लाइन लगाओ, पिछला काटो यहाँ।
Many cities are witnessing scenes like these since India announced a countrywide lockdown to halt the spread of coronavirus. Most of these people you are seeing are daily wage workers who had come to cities in search of a better future for their children and for themselves. But those dreams have now been crushed because most factories are shut and they don't have any jobs or money. Desperate, all they want is to get home, but they can't. They're just stuck in the middle, like under this bridge in Delhi where we are at the moment.
की सरकार हम लोग को बोला जितना मजदूर गरीब है सब आएगा।
यूपी में जान घुसने दे रहे यूपी वाले। ना ना ना, आप उनसे बात कर लो, सीने रख लो।
Such scuffles are happening at borders between different states as police try to regulate the movement of migrants. Many of them are being picked from borders and taken to shelter homes, and in some cases, even in suffocating basements of hotels and malls.
This is a family of 5 and they have 3 little children, and I'll show you. Come here. This is a small cycle. This is a small cycle on which a child is sitting, one is walking and one is the mother is carrying. And this family of 5 has to walk about 300 kilometers to get home. And you can just imagine how difficult their journey is going to be on this cycle, under this scorching sun, without much food, water.
हमें तो भिखारी से भी बेहतर बना दिया इन लोगों ने। जिस सब मजदूर भैया को सबको हम ही की वजह से सरकार चलती है, हमारी वजह से सरकार जहाँ तक है प्रशासन विदेशों से जाता है, हमारी गरीबों की मेहनत का जाता है जहाँ तक जाता है, मगर गरीबों को सर बेकार कर दिया है सारे लोगों ने।
इन्हें लॉकडाउन करना था तो 10 दिन की मोहलत दे देते, 5 दिन की मोहलत देते, जिसको घरे जाना है वो चला जाता घरे, यहाँ भूखे प्यासे क्यों मरता।
The fear of looming hunger and an uncertain future has made these people take these difficult journeys back home. They just want to go however they can. Most of them are walking, some of them have taken rides in lorries, some of them have gone in tuk-tuks, and some of them have gone even in tankers. That's how desperate they are to reach their homes. So we are in Ghaziabad district in Uttar Pradesh state. It borders the national capital of Delhi. This is a state from where millions of people go to cities like Mumbai, Delhi, Pune and Chennai to find work. Now all of them want to go back home, and that is proving to be very difficult for authorities here. So we are in a collection center. What you're seeing here, that these people have been collected from highways and streets across the district, and they've been brought here, and in batches they are going to be sent to their homes. But the sheer number is making it difficult to follow norms like social distancing. I can see there are at least 5,000 people in this collection center alone. Given the mass exodus of people from Indian cities, the number of buses and trains are just not enough. My colleagues have reported similar scenes from across the country.
साइकिल पे कितना देर समय लगेगा?
सर चलेगा 10-15 दिन चलेगा, यहाँ लॉकडाउन से बढ़िया तो चलते रहेंगे हम लोग।
कम से कम सरकार को इतना तो मजदूरों को घर तो भेजना चाहिए। अभी कोई नहीं चल रहा है इधर। सरकार ये भी तो ऑनलाइन बोला, जिसके पास गरीब मजदूर है उसके पास मोबाइल कहाँ से आएगा, कहाँ से ऑनलाइन टिकट करवा सकता है। कम से कम इतना तो करना चाहिए कि काउंटर से नहीं तो किसी से मतलब दिलवाना चाहिए टिकट।
What makes these stories even more heartbreaking is the fact that some of them never reached home. Dozens have died because of exhaustion or in accidents on highways like this.
We are at the Ghaziabad railway station. It is barely 5 kilometers from where we were. It's completely empty.
Some special trains are being run to take migrant workers home, but they're not allowed to reach railway stations if they don't have valid tickets. And that is a problem because most of them do not have smartphones to be able to book tickets online. In some places, officials have opened counters to book tickets, but overcrowding poses great health risks, like what happened in Ghaziabad on Monday.
Officials have asked these workers to stay where they are and food will be provided. And food is being provided. But the problem is they have to stand for hours to get little portions. Some of them say it's the indignity of the process that hurts them the most.
4 घंटे लग रहे हैं यहाँ। पब्लिक हमारी भिखारी की तरह रोड पे आ गई। हम लोग अच्छे खाते पीते थे, उसे खाने के लिए हमारी पब्लिक को लाइन लगाती है, भिखारी की तरह अच्छे अच्छे भिखारी बन के रोड पे भीख मांग रहे हैं हम।
These workers have been the backbone of India's economy, especially in the informal sector. And the scenes we have witnessed on India's highways are a telling sign that the country needs to do more for the people who build and run its cities.
There you go. So this is just one of the many issues, no, concerning migration and looking at the situation of the many people around the world, particularly for this example, India. Human migration has take a lot of, um, parang challenges, or people were placed in a situation that is very very difficult. And looking at this video, ano yung mga major realizations that you saw, or should I say ideas na nakita ninyo while watching it? Ano bang nakita ninyo? Kung bibigyan ito ng reaction, anong reaction button ang pipindutin ninyo para dito? Ila-like nyo lang ba to or i-ignore? No? And when we talk about migration, as we continue with our discussion, katulad ng binanggit nyo sa inyong initial answers, this is the movement by people from one place to another with the intentions of settling and permanently in a new location. The movement is often over long distances from one country to another. Pero there are two types of migration, two kinds of migration that you need to understand, gentlemen. The first one is what we call internal migration or domestic migration, as seen in the video. Okay? This is the migration within the country. And sa Philippines ba, do you know stories of people from the provinces na nagpunta ng Maynila? Maybe in your own family, meron mga magulang kayo or mga kamag-anak na nagsabi na luluwas na lang kami ng Maynila kasi nandito yung ano yung reason? 'Di ba? Kasi dito yung trabaho, dito yung magandang eskwelahan, dito yung mas magkakaroon kami ng better opportunities. Maaring sa side ninyo, ang naka-experience niyan yung parents ninyo or yung lolo't lola ninyo na nag-decide na ang term natin sa Pilipinas, makipagsapalaran sa Maynila. Hindi ba? Dahil nandito ang greener pasture, ika nga, or pagkakataon. And this is not only true for the Philippines, but a lot of people, all over the world are moving from town, provinces, and even region para lang makahanap pa ng ibang oportunidad sa ibang lugar. Pero ayaw lang umalis ng bansa nila. And napupunta yun doon sa pangalawang klase ng migration. No? Galing probinsya, punta ng Maynila, wala pa rin nangyari. So mag-a-apply na lang sa mga agencies para magawa itong next part, which is what we call international migration. This is when people move to another country to live and settle down for a long period of time. Okay? Do you have relatives abroad or parents who used to work abroad? Okay? I think natanong ko na rin kayo dati tungkol dito. Pero there are two types of international migration. Okay? Meron tayong tinatawag na emigration. Ito yung mga tao, tinatawag silang migrant or yung mga temporarily living in a particular country. This is true for many OFWs, the overseas Filipino workers na nagtatrabaho in another country with a certain number of years. Halimbawa, yung kontrata nila will last for 6 months, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, parang ganyan. And I know, meron kayong mga parents na OFW, so ang tawag sa kanila ay mga migrant workers. Pero, if for example, may pamilya na decide na talagang permanently doon na sila titira, ang tawag natin doon is yung immigration or yung pagiging mga immigrants naman. So these are two terms that you need to remember when we talk about international migration. So dito may mga OFW parents, meron ba kayong mga kamag-anak who permanently settled their families abroad? As in mga citizens na sila ng Amerika, ng ganyan, hindi ba? Kung tatanungin ko kayo ulit, baka nagbago na yung sagot ninyo, saan nyo gustong tumirang bansa kung bibigyan kayo ng chance? Pwedeng as migrant or immigrant. Migrant muna, yung gusto nyo lang munang itry tumira doon at magtrabaho doon. O sige, pati na yung immigrant, doon na talaga ako titira, sir, permanently. Tapos pag yumaman ako, sir, papatawag kita, papasyal kita doon. Ganon. Wag kang tumawa, Reggie, no? Pangako mo yan. But seriously, if you are given a chance to migrate or to become immigrant, no, in one country, saan nyo gusto? May kinoconsider ba kayong bansa? Type your answers. Sige, tingnan natin. Japan, California, Australia, South Korea, LA in particular, si Abad, very specific. Ikaw saan sa California, Reggie? Okay. Pero ano ba yung mga reasons bakit natin ginugusto or ina-aspire magpunta ng ibang bansa? Okay? So, in record guys, okay, based from the World Economic Forum, meron tayong napakalaking bilang ng tao na lumilipat ng ibang bansa. And from 1995 to 2019, last year, lumaki yung bilang ng mga umaalis. Though proportionate naman daw siya sa population. Pero later on in the discussion, we will try to discuss ano yung scale and speed of migration at ano ang epekto nito sa atin. There is the overall figure says na meron tayong 272 million people all around the world moving out of their country. And kitang-kita dyan na napakalaki talaga ng percentage ng mga kalalakihang umaalis. But there is a growing trend if you're going to look at this data. 45% of the female population are moving out of their countries. No, this male and female record goes to show also yung epekto ng migration that we will discuss later on. So aside from what you mentioned, na lumilipat sila because gusto nila ng better economic condition, way of living, mas maging maganda yung kanilang mga trabaho, marami sa kanila ang nafo-force to leave their places due to the following reasons: conflict and violence and even climate change. Yung migration can make or break your future. Hindi naman sa lahat ng pagkakataon, pag nag-migrate ka, magandang epekto nito. In the record, as I mentioned, India is the most number of migrants moving out of their territory or moving out of the country. At ang target nila, America. Okay, the land of dreams. Diba? Anong tawag yun? Yung New York state of mind. Ganyan. Ano pa yung New York na kanta? Di ba? Gusto natin pumunta sa mga bansang ito, hindi dahil sa kung ano pa man, kundi gusto natin magkaroon talaga ng magandang buhay. Now, the biggest issue facing the migrants today is this, yung conflicts ng territory, just like for example, the one you seeing in the picture, ito yung mga bata from Syria. Hindi ko alam kung natatandaan niyo pa yung mga balita tungkol dyan. At syempre, alam nating lahat na ang epekto nito ay hindi lamang sa individual, kundi sa cities at sa bansa. So in this part of the discussion, we will be talking about the migration and its impact on cities. Nowadays, many people, as we said, migrate to have a better life. There are a lot of employment opportunities, okay, na common reason kung ba't sila lumilipat, pero except these employment opportunities, syempre they are looking for what? Opportunities for better education, okay? Yung issue ng globalisasyon, attraction to these things. At pwede din naman na nagiging reason ng pag-alis dahil sa mga natural disasters, katulad ng naging biktima ng mga lindol or bagyo or drought, for example, hindi ba? And sometimes, even yung crop failures, for example, yung mga probinsya natin na producers ng iba't ibang mga agricultural products, kapag hindi maganda yung kanilang mga ani or kanilang mga pananim, nagiging dahilan yan for these villagers or people from the provinces to move to the cities. So, this is the sad part of migration. Pero in this discussion, pag-uusapan natin, ano ba yung mga positibong epekto at negatibong epekto ng pagmamigrate ng mga tao. Let's go to the positive impact. If you feel like copying this, just copy the keywords because all these slides will be posted, of course, in your Google Classroom. So ilan sa mga positive impacts ng migration ay mga sumusunod. Una, unemployment is reduced and people get better job opportunities. Given na ito. At lahat tayo nauunawaan natin siguro ang epektong ito, hindi ba? Second point, migration helps improving the quality of life of people. You've seen this no sa kondisyon ng pamilya ninyo. Kung meron kayong mga kamag-anak na nag-a-abroad, nakikita nyo naman kung paano nag-i-improve ang kanilang pamumuhay at ang inyong pamumuhay din kung ang mga magulang nyo ay nag-abroad. Pero, pang matagalan ba ito? Siyempre, depende yan sa management ng kanyang kinikita. Pero definitely, ang laking improvement nun sa pamumuhay natin. It also helps improve the social life of people as they learn about new culture, customs, and languages which help to improve brotherhood among people. Wait lang, inom lang ng tubig. Mabilis lang. Okay? Ano pa yung mga positive impacts nito? Migration of skilled workers leads to a greater economic growth of the region. Okay? This is a double-edged sword. Kapag halimbawa, si Elijah ay naging mahusay na engineer, kunyari, in the future, at nag-decide siyang magtrabaho sa ibang bansa, okay? Yung kanyang skills of being an excellent engineer, ang makikinabang yun ay yung bansang kanyang nilipatan at hindi yung kanyang bansa. So, maganda yun sa side noong nilipatan. Pero later on, titignan natin anong epekto nun sa bansang iiwanan mo naman. Okay? Next number is number 5, I think. Children get better opportunities for higher education. Merong oportunidad para dyan. At marami sa mga magulang ang nagnanais na dalhin ang kanilang mga anak abroad for this particular reason. Next, the population density is reduced and the birth rate decreases. So, okay. Next, ito naman yung mga negative effects. Ito, medyo marami to. So, humanda kayo. Isa-isahin natin ang mga yan.